Man, what's up, YouTube? What's up, Raider Nation? This is my week by week, 1 through 17, um, game day analysis, thoughts, predictions, whatever you want to call it, and for the Oakland Raiders. So in week 3, we have the Tennessee Titans, team that went 3-13 last year. Even though they went 3-13, their young quarterback showed a lot of potential, and overall, had some offensive struggles. Defensively, were solid. Overall, we're under turmoil. Now, I just want to break down some players and put up some numbers out there. So first of all, I'm talking about Mariota, guy that finished with nearly 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. If you ask me, he played really solid for the Tennessee Titans, considering the fact that his O line wasn't that good, had no running backs that that he could rely on. Wide receivers weren't there. The only offensive weapon he did have was Delanie Walker. If you ask me, this is a guy that I think is going to be their starter and possible Pro Bowler from here on out. I mean, they've had so much trouble finding a quarterback. I mean, from year to year, look at this team. Last year they had guys like Zach Manenberg start. The year before, I think it was Ryan Fitzpatrick, Jake Locker, Matt Hasselbeck, and finally have a consistent quarterback in Marcus Mariota. Now, let's move on to run game. They were like one of the worst teams running the ball. They didn't have any top. I think their top running back was Antonio Andrew, and second was Marcus Mariota. So this team had no run game. Their wide receiver corps consisted of Harry Douglas, Dario Green Beckenham, and a couple others. Their O-line wasn't there, so offensively this team struggled mightily. I believe they finished 30th in total offense generated. There was solid run team, and on top of that, their passing game wasn't that good. Defensively, they showed some things. They were a mediocre team in stopping the run. They generated some pass rush, and overall, defensively, they were solid. Now, if you ask any Raider fan, I'm pretty sure they would be elated to find out that they're going to be playing the Tennessee Titans. I mean, I think for most Raider fans, they're just going to bubble that in as a victory. But if you ask me, I mean, this team last year gave us like a bunch of fits, a bunch of fight. I think the final score was 24-21. It was an automatic victory for us. If you ask me, this team has improved, by a lot. I mean, their wide receiver corps or their running back corps wasn't there last year. They go out, sign DeMarco Murray, which I know he had some struggles last year, but I think he's gonna come back. And if he doesn't, they also got Derrick Henry, which is was one of the top running backs in this draft. The wide receiver corps, and they believe they added Rashard Matthews from the Dolphins. He's a solid wide receiver. On top of that, they added a veteran in Andre Johnson. They still have Harry Douglas and Dario Green Beckenham, and they have a top 5 tight end in Delanie Walker. They also drafted a number 1 offensive tackle in the first round pick. So offensively, this team looks like it's going to improve by a lot. And and Marcus Mariota is going to be going on in the second year. I think he's going to improve. He's going to be better. So offensively, this team has a lot of potential. Defensively, they went their second round picks were a defensive end and defensive tackle. I mean, they have some really good defensive weapons. Look at their linebacker corps. I mean, guys like Derrick Henry, Wesley Woodyard, Brian Rakapo, Gerald Casey. Their front seven looks really solid. Their secondary still has some work, but I think their secondary is still pretty solid as well. Yeah, but whenever you draft guys, at second and third round, defensive end, defensive tackle, that's gonna bolster your defense. And overall, this team, I don't think this team's gonna be 3-13. I mean, they went out. I think in the draft they did pretty solid. Free agency they did pretty solid, and this team looks like it's gonna improve. So if you ask me, I'm not gonna bubble this as an automatic or as a victory for us. I do think that like I said, last year they gave us some trouble. A team that went 3-13 gave us some trouble. Now, a team that went 3-13 with so much improvement, at home is gonna give us some trouble. This is a road game for us. If we lose this game, I wouldn't be too surprised. But at the end of the day, I still think it's gonna be a victory for us. I do believe the Tennessee Titans have improved by a lot, though I still think the Raiders have defensive weapons. I mean, if you ask me, David Amerson, put a staple on one of his best games was against the Tennessee Titans. I mean, our secondary's improved by a lot. Our front seven has improved as well. I don't expect Derek Carr's last games he kind of struggled, but I expect him to play better, more consistently. We'll see how it goes though. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, guys, and have a good day.